Bank of America. The Bank of America Corporation, commonly referred to as Bank of America, often abbreviated as Bank of America or BofA, is an American multinational investment bank and financial services holding company headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina. Its primary financial services revolve around commercial banking, wealth management, and investment banking. After suffering a significant loss after the 1998 Russian bond default, Bank America, as it was then known, was acquired by the Charlotte-based Nations Bank for $62 billion. Following what was then the largest bank acquisition in history, the Bank of America Corporation was founded. Both Bank of America and Merrill Lynch Wealth Management retain large market shares in their respective offerings. The bank's large market share, business activities, and economic impact has led to numerous lawsuits and investigations regarding both mortgages and financial disclosures dating back to the 2008 financial crisis. Its corporate practices of servicing the middle class and wider banking community has yielded a substantial market share since the early 20th century. The eastern portion of the Bank of America franchise can be traced to 1784, when Massachusetts Bank was chartered, the first federally chartered joint stock-owned bank in the United States and only the second bank to receive a charter in the United States. Bank of Italy was renamed on November 3, 1930, to Bank of America National Trust and Savings Association, 18. Which was the only such designated bank in the United States at that time. Giannini sought to build a national bank, expanding into most of the western states as well as into the insurance industry, under the aegis of his holding company, Transamerica Corporation. However, federal banking regulators prohibited Bank of America's interstate banking activity, and Bank of America's domestic banks outside California were forced into a separate company that eventually became First Interstate Bancorp, later acquired by Wells Fargo and Company in 1996. Only in the 1980s, with a change in federal banking legislation and regulation, could Bank of America again expand its domestic consumer banking activity outside California. Following the passage of the Bank Holding Company Act of 1956 by the U.S. Congress, 24, Bank America Corporation was established for the purpose of owning and operating Bank of America and its subsidiaries. The company acquired Security Pacific Corporation and its subsidiary Security Pacific National Bank in California and other banks in Arizona, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington, which Security Pacific had acquired in a series of acquisitions in the late 1980s. However, the merged company was and still is headquartered in Charlotte, and retains Nations Bank's pre-1998 stock price history. On June 30, 2005, Bank of America announced it would purchase credit card giant MBNA for $35 billion in cash and stock. The acquisition of MBNA provided Bank of America a leading domestic and foreign credit card issuer. Under Bank of America, the operation was renamed FIA Card Services. Bank of America operated under the name Bank Boston in many other Latin American countries, including Brazil. Prior to the transaction, Bank Boston's Brazilian operations included asset management, private banking, a credit card portfolio, and small, middle market, and large corporate segments. While the Bank Boston name and trademarks were not part of the transaction, as part of the sale agreement, they cannot be used by Bank of America in Brazil, Chile or Uruguay following the transactions. On September 14, 2007, Bank of America won approval from the Federal Reserve to acquire LaSalle Bank Corporation from ABN AMRO for $21 billion. Ken Lewis, who had lost the title of chairman of the board, announced that he would retire as CEO effective December 31, 2009, in part due to controversy and legal investigations concerning the purchase of Merrill Lynch. On August 23, 2007, the company announced a $2 billion repurchase agreement for Countrywide Financial. In December 2011, the Justice Department announced a $335 million settlement with Bank of America over discriminatory lending practice at Countrywide Financial. The bank, in its January 16, 2009, earnings release, revealed massive losses at Merrill Lynch in the fourth quarter, which necessitated an infusion of money that had previously been negotiated with the government as part of the government-persuaded deal for the bank to acquire Merrill. The market capitalization of Bank of America, including Merrill Lynch, was then $45 billion, less than the $50 billion it offered for Merrill just 4 months earlier, and down $108 billion from the merger announcement. Many major financial institutions had a stake in this lawsuit, including Chicago Clearing Corporation, hedge funds, and bank trusts, due to the belief that Bank of America stock was a sure investment. The bank approved the bonuses before the merger but did not disclose them to its shareholders when the shareholders were considering approving the Merrill acquisition, in December 2008. Addressing one of the concerns he raised in September, the fine will be distributed only to Bank of America shareholders harmed by the non-disclosures, or legacy shareholders, an improvement on the prior $33 million while still paltry, according to the judge. Bank of America cut around 16,000 jobs in a quicker fashion by the end of 2012 as revenue continued to decline because of new regulations and a slow economy. Bank of America has offices in Hong Kong, Shanghai, and Guangzhou and was looking to greatly expand its Chinese business as a result of this deal. Much of the government's prosecution was based on information provided by three whistleblowers: Sharif Abdo, a senior vice president at the bank, Robert Madsen, a professional appraiser employed by a bank subsidiary, and Edward O'Donnell, a Fannie Mae official. Even though Bank of America operates Community Bank, customer services are not interchangeable between the two financial institutions. 104, meaning that a Community Bank customer cannot go to a Bank of America branch and withdraw from their account and vice versa. Deposits made into checking and savings accounts are insured by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation up to $250,000 despite the fact that none of Community's operating branches are located within the jurisdictional borders of the United States. In 2015, Bank of America began expanding organically, opening branches in cities where it previously did not have a retail presence. In January 2018, Bank of America announced an organic expansion of its retail footprint into Pittsburgh and surrounding areas, to supplement its existing commercial lending and investment businesses in the area. Before the expansion, Pittsburgh had been one of the largest U.S. cities without a retail presence by any of the Big Four, with locally based PNC Financial Services, No. Bank of America generates 90% of its revenues in its domestic market. Consumer banking, the largest division in the company, provides financial services to consumers and small businesses including banking, investments, and lending products including business loans, mortgages, and credit cards. It provides stockbroker services via Merrill Edge, a specific division for investment and related services, such as research and call center counsel, after Merrill Lynch became a subsidiary of Bank of America. The consumer banking organization includes over 4,600 retail financial centers and approximately 15,900 automated teller machines. The Global Banking Division provides banking services, including investment banking and lending products to businesses. Before Bank of America's acquisition of Merrill Lynch, the Global Corporate and Investment Banking (GCIB) business operated as Bank of America Securities LLC. The bank's investment banking activities operate under the Merrill Lynch subsidiary and provided mergers and acquisitions advisory, underwriting, capital markets, as well as sales and trading in fixed income and equities markets. Bank of America Merrill Lynch is headquartered in New York City. The Global Markets Division offers services to institutional clients, including trading in financial securities. The Bank of America principal executive offices are located in the Bank of America Corporate Center, Charlotte, North Carolina. On October 24, 2012, American federal prosecutors filed a $1 billion civil lawsuit against Bank of America for mortgage fraud under the False Claims Act, which provides for possible penalties of triple the damages suffered. In April 2014, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, ordered Bank of America to provide an estimated $727 million in relief to consumers harmed by practices related to credit card add-on products. Following Parmalat's 2003 bankruptcy, the company sued Bank of America for $10 billion, alleging the bank profited from its knowledge of Parmalat's financial difficulties. In December 2010, Bank of America announced that it would no longer service requests to transfer funds to WikiLeaks, 164, stating that Bank of America joins in the actions previously announced by MasterCard, PayPal, Visa Europe, and others and will not process transactions of any type that we have reason to believe are intended for WikiLeaks. Later in December, it was announced that Bank of America purchased more than 300 internet domain names in an attempt to preempt bad publicity that might be forthcoming in the anticipated WikiLeaks release. In 2010, the state of Arizona launched an investigation into Bank of America for misleading homeowners who sought to modify their mortgage loans. On May 6, 2015, Bank of America announced it would reduce its financial exposure to coal companies. Bank of America's major competitors are Wells Fargo, Santander, PNC Financial Services, Ally Financial, Capital One, Chase Bank, U.S. Bank, Citizens Financial Group, Citigroup, and M&T Bank. Atwood Building in Anchorage, Alaska, was at one time named the Bank of America Center, renamed in conjunction with the bank's acquisition of building tenant Security Pacific Bank. Through a number of mergers, it was later known as the Industrial National Bank Building and the Fleet Bank Building.